Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is Mali here and I hope you'll enjoy today's demo. Let me switch to the board here so you can see what's going on. So I hope you can hear me well. Let me move this light so we can see better the wood panel I'm going to paint on. It's an 8x10. I did the underpainting. So as always, I'm going to use the same palette. So I have titanium white, azure yellow, yellow ochre, vermilion red, burnt sienna, burnt umber, and ultramarine blue. So I'm going to use my favorite brush. This is, I think you can see better here, a filbert. That's what I paint with most of the time. So today I'm going to paint one of my students, Stella. Unfortunately, she doesn't come to the studio anymore because she moved to Seattle, Washington a couple years ago. But she's taking my Zoom classes online, so I get to see her beautiful smiles once a month. I will write down below the info for my Zoom class in case you want to take it. So about once a month, sometimes twice a month, I teach how to paint in acrylic, different subjects. But as far as my personal work, I focus on portraits this year. So, as always, I start by placing the size of the face. So I know how much space I have to paint the face, the left side, the ear, the right side, the top, the bottom, the chin, and here, enough room for the neck. So I choose burnt sienna because it's going to blend well with the skin tone. I do this quickly, just to have the hair. It's going to be something like that. So some artists are good at painting everything precisely. They start from the eye and then they paint everything else. But if you never painted portraits before, I recommend you to do like I do, placing the size of the face, of the hair, so you have an idea of how much space you have. Next step, I'm going to paint a base color for the skin. So it's a mix of yellow ochre and burnt sienna and white. So this is kind of to prime the space I'm going to paint on, and also it covers the underlayer. Well, I hope you can hear me well. Let's see. I'm going to turn off the fan. You might hear it in the background, so it's better to turn it off. It's not today, it's not too hot today in Fresno. It's supposed to be a hot week, but in the studio, inside the studio, it's fine. So I'm gonna switch to a bigger brush. It's a flat brush, a 1/4 inch. It will cover the face a little bit faster and more evenly. Although, if you've seen my my previous demos, nowadays I paint in a loose style. And also because it's a demo, I'm gonna skip some steps because I want to show you how much I can do in about 2 hours. Most of the time I spend a little bit longer, maybe 30, 45 extra minutes to finish the portrait. So that's pretty much all I need. Like I said, it's almost like priming a wall before you paint it. I want to make sure I have enough paint. It's gonna grab better the next layers. So next I'm going to place the main features. So the space for the eyes, the nose line, and the smile. It's probably higher here. Just less forehead. So it just gives me an idea of the size, right? It can be a little bit bigger. The final portrait could be a little bit bigger, really smaller. There, I place the smile, the creases, and it should be good enough. Here I'll have the space for the eyebrows. Should be good enough. Also, I like to frame a little bit the face to have different values, I mean darker values around the face. And in this case, it's going to be a grayish color, so it complements the pinkish skin tone. There you go. I think that's all I'm going to need for now. And I'm going to paint the nose, the eyes, and the smile before refining the skin tone. I'll paint the neck, and then the hair, and the flashy green sweater. Since I'm gonna paint the sweater or the t-shirt at the end, I haven't placed on my palette the green yet, so it doesn't dry before I get there. All right, back to my filbert here. All right, keep in mind that it's very loose. So no details for now. I'm trying to capture the likeness and the expression. This is more important than getting into the all the details. So I think they are doing some road work outside. I hope you won't hear, you don't hear them too much. It shouldn't last long, but just so you know. All right, so I'm going to take a picture of the work in progress. It's always useful to go back to how you started your painting. All right, so the eyes, the shadow here of the nose. So my process is basically building layers, and as I go, I adjust the colors, the values, the contrast, while refining the likeness and the expression. So I really like the picture with the hair flowing. That's unusual and it's more interesting instead of the traditional mugshot. It's also to show you that to inspire you to draw or paint a candid shot. I want to teach you confidence. So now I'm going to use a small round to refine the nose. That's the next step. Even if it's loose, I want more paint. And I want just a little bit more control of the shapes. So I'm going to use both my 1/4 inch filbert and my small round. So I have the shape I want for the nose. Now I'm going to work on the eyes. So I check the distance between the nostril and the eye. What I'm going to paint differently is that I'm going to make her look at us. As you can see on this selfie, she was looking at her picture on the screen instead of looking at the lens. So I want her to look at the viewers. So it's really not much, but you know, one hair can make a big difference. So I want to show you that you can do that as well. Don't forget that you're the master of your composition. You can add, remove, change things you want or you don't want. I encourage creativity versus just copying. So not only the look, but you could use a different photo as well. She actually sent me two more where you could see her hair on the right side, but I really like the way she looks, and then it creates more movement. You can also paint a different background. Right? It doesn't have to be here. The background is slanted, as you can see, the top of the grass. You can change that as well. I'm just going to paint some greenish fuzzy background. So anyhow, be creative as much as possible. So I think now I can place the eyebrows. Like so. So if you watch the other videos, my process changes a little bit. As you paint, your style changes or the process changes. You find shortcuts. There's always, even if the style is similar and recognizable, you always make, no matter what, slight changes in the way you paint. Right? So that's normal. All right, I like the nose. I check the distances between the eyes and the nose. This makes like a kind of a slanty, upside down triangle. It's pretty regular, so I think I have the distances right. Then Speaking of style, I'm softening more here. The colors are more pastel tone. And then one thing you have to remember is that, or keep in mind, is that the paint dries slightly darker, right? So what is pinkish, painted a burnt sienna, might appear darker tomorrow or next week. So I try to keep all my my values and my colors light, so there's no bad surprises. All right, let me double check if it's still clear. I think that's fine. Also, I think my colors are pretty good. It's gonna depend. They might look different depending on how your screen is calibrated. There you go. Wow, it's very loud this afternoon. I didn't expect that. I hope you don't hear too much the lawnmower, I think. All right, since I'm happy with the nose and the eyes, I'm going to move to the smile. So place the smile, it lines up with the middle of the eye. And about here for the right side. So I always place the size and the shape of the features, like I started with the face and the hair, the eyes, the nose. So I'm placing the teeth before painting the lips around it. The teeth aren't completely white. They are gray and you have white reflections, so I don't want to paint them too bright. That's good enough. Now let's paint a purplish red. Let's use that for the lips. So I'm doing everything at the same time here, right? I adjust my drawing. I play with the values and the colors. As I do that, I don't forget to look at the big picture to make sure that the features are in proportion. That's the most important thing to me. I'm not worried about the right colors or the details. Too often, beginners focus on the details and then they forget the big picture, so they don't get the likeness and the expression right. Colors don't matter. You could do a black and white version, a green, purple. As long as the likeness and the proportions are there, that's what matters the most. Right, so I'm going to paint the teeth a little bit darker, and I'll paint the highlights so to be more realistic. So trust the process. I keep saying that because that's so true. Don't worry about the details of the colors. You can have the best colors and details in the world. If the likeness is there, you'll be disappointed and you'll have to start all over again. So I'm using another round brush, less softer, with softer bristles. So to paint loose, I hold my brush from a distance, like so. I'm going to adjust some reflections here and there. And as I do that, I refine a little bit more the skin tone. It's more white, and I think it's time now to paint the creases. So I start from the side of the nose. It's probably too dark here. So as I do that, I look at, again, the big picture. The likeness is almost there, so that's a good thing. I'm going to refine the likeness, get it better by as I adjust the skin tone. So I double check the shapes, the distances. And that's good. All right. Like I said, I'm going to adjust the skin tone. I think the forehead is fine. Maybe a second pass quickly here. The side of the face is fine too, at least the left side. Probably less wide here. There you go. It's more curvy. Now let's fix the forehead. There you go. That's what the hair should be. The temple, this is more flat. There you go. That's better. Also look at the shape of the face. Jaw, ear, hair, hairline. Let's place this first. Let's see, yellow ochre with some burnt sienna. This line is too strong, so let's glaze over it. Less here, less. Let's see, muscle here. It's less dark for the corner of the mouth. That's better. All right, now let's paint the chin. I see some pinkish. Unfortunately, there's no universal formula for skin tone. It's one of the questions that comes often. It's a mix of different colors, and then it depends on the lighting. So like here, I did a little bit of green. You might not see it, but the grain of the t-shirt reflecting on the chin and the jaw. Right. I didn't have to paint it. If you forget to paint it, that's fine. I just want to teach you to look at things better. All right. I think that's fine. I want to work a little bit more on the hair to what I call frame the skin tone, so I can better adjust the values and try to get the right colors on the face. So as I look at the whole face, I think the eyes could be a little bit smaller. Oh wow, I get carried away and I forgot to take a picture. Let's see. All right, I'm happy with the skin tone. Of course, because I haven't painted the background yet, it looks very yellowish because of the also because of the underlayer. All right, so now let's refine. I'm going to go back to the nose, the eyes, and the smile, refine that. I think I'm happy with the skin tone overall, so I'm not worried about that, not really. Basically, I'm going over what I did to make sure everything is the way it should be. No details, just suggestion. So the eyes could be a tad smaller. A bit darker as well. Like so. Let's see this one now. It's much better. So you're not going to see so much the white of the eyes. It's much better. Let's paint the lashes now. I keep thinking about the how the paint dries darker, so I make sure to keep my colors lighter. All right, I think the look is fine. So now I'm going to play with the contrast. Darks versus highlights. I'm giving more dimension here to the nose. Just like that. that. It's all about suggesting the more you suggest, the more realistic it's going to be. In a loose style. That's what I do. I want to give the impression of the features. As opposed to painting very detailed like I used to in the past. All right, and I will make sure that I have the look right. Usually it's never that noisy outside. I guess I picked the wrong day to tape this demo, but I think my microphone is good enough, so you shouldn't hear that, all the noise outside. I'm going to try to speak a little bit louder too. So, more reflections here as well. It's much better. Let's paint the eyebrows more gray. So I'm going to add more blue and white. Simply on this side. All right, that's much better. Okay, so let's keep on working on the reflections, shadows, contrast, values. To suggest just what we need. All right, I need my filbert here. I think the forehead is lower, a little bit lower. There you go. It's better. No, this is too strong. I'm going to soften this. It's much better. strong reflection. All right. So I like the eyes. The expression is there. Now the smile. So first of all, I think there's too much space between the upper lip and the nose. So I'm gonna do both. Adjust the nose here. Is the first thing. Oops. Then the upper lip. It's really not much. Like I said, one hair makes a difference. It's something I could definitely see. I'm going to adjust the color here. It's a burgundy. So I'm going to let it dry a little bit before. I hope I'll find the right color. Okay, that's better. And now more white, a little bit of pink. I mean red, so it's more pink. And then we'll see what happens once it's dry. It might be just good enough. So if I move the upper lip, what does that mean? It means that the smile or the mouth is going to be too open. So I want to adjust the Cupid's bow here. Or the smile might be just good enough. I mean the teeth. Right. Okay, I think it's looking good. I need to adjust that. Just soften that. It's a bit too dark, I think. So soften that. All right, let's adjust the teeth now. The top of the teeth, so there's a nice, so it's a nice connection between the upper lip and the teeth. Even if it's loose, I want to try to get the shape right. This can be darker. Oops, a bit too much. Too dark. Okay. So whenever I see something, because I keep looking at the big picture, whenever I see something that is wrong, I'll fix it right away so I don't forget. So here that's the skin right above of nostril. It changes, it gives a better shape to the nose here. This side is fine. All right, let's work on the nose. No, the teeth, I'm sorry. So the teeth, it's almost, well, you have to count them. So this is gonna happen once in a while. My camera turns off. I don't know why. The settings are supposed to be right, but it shuts off for 1 second. I don't know why. Bear with me and the technology. All right, the teeth. So I kind of sketch them underneath. To make them stand out, I'm going to paint them in light gray. So I'll start by the center and I leave the negative space. That will kind of outline them just enough, not in a cartoonish way. So I think the smile is actually good. I thought I had to move the lower lip up, but no. I think just by adjusting the upper lip, everything falls into place. So that canine, and then there. So I just have to find the right amount of white to make the teeth stand out, but keep them realistic. I have to let them dry and see what happens. It's a little bit long, so I'm going to paint the lower teeth. It's always tricky, but I painted teeth many times, so. All right. And now let's frame the teeth. Let me retouch that first. Let's frame the teeth. By painting the lower lip. All right. So it starts about there. I'm going to paint the whole lower lip. Let's not forget the corner of the mouth here, that is much darker. Let's paint the shadow here, a shadow of the teeth. And now I can paint the reflection on the lower lip. It's a light reflection. She probably wears, she probably has lipstick, but it doesn't show much on the reference photo. All right, I keep adjusting small things. I can only make the portrait better. Again, it's not about the details, but those tiny details are made of color variations, actually, more than details. Here it can be bigger, a little bit bigger. She has such a beautiful smile. I want to show that. All right, let's highlight the lips a little bit more. It's going to dry darker, so I'll make sure that it's there. I step back a little bit and so look at the expression, the likeness. What do I see here? All right. Let's adjust a couple of things. So because the pink dries fast, I can't always mix what I want. I do a lot of glazing. All right. All right, it's looking good. So now the crease is too strong here. I'm going to soften the shape. I mean the color, so it doesn't show so much. There you go. That's much better. This side is good enough. Now the highlight. Oh, I need more white. There you go. That's much better. Hold on. It's too noisy now. It's side of the room. Close the door. Close the door and all right. So the highlights might show more on the screen. But I like what I have on my painting. So I have the expression, the likeness. I think I want to make this a little bit lower. Looks like it should be more on the same level. That's better. Now needs to fix the eyebrow, but is therefore lower. I didn't think about that. I suppose yesterday was Labor Day, so they didn't come in, do the yard work and all the trimming. That's why they showed up today. Usually it's in the morning, but well, it could be worse, so I'm not going to complain too much. It's always annoying, but all right. So let's fix more here. Okay, I'm gonna fix this eye. So I'll tell my students to not go for the details, because when something like that happens, it's always a lot of work to make adjustments. That's much better. Now, the crease here. Lower just a tad the iris. So this needed to be fixed, even if it's a loose style. All right, so this now has to be adjusted as well, otherwise it makes the smile too big. Just a few dots. There we go. All right, and now I'm going to finish the jaws and the chin. And the neck. So not too green here, not too green, not too blue. You just want the slight reflection of the bright green shirt. So I'm going to blend burnt sienna, yellow ochre, and white to the green reflection. There's more yellow ochre here on the neck. So I need more pink to have a better coverage. To cover the underlayer. There you go. That's much better. Thick. More white right there. As always, if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I'm always glad to answer your questions. There you go. That's good enough. I want to keep it soft and loose. What matters is the face and the likeness. Just wanted to show you how the green t-shirt reflects on the chin. But again, if it's something you don't see at first, it's okay. All right, and before I pin the hair, I'm going to take another picture. So, not bad. It's been a little over 1 hour. I'm on schedule. So let's pin the hair. All right, let's start with the dark values here. So I double check the width of the face, the ear. It lines up with the mouth and So that's where the hair should be. And you have the lobe. There we go. The more I look at the mouth, I think it can be a little bit higher. Maybe like that. Looks like the corner of the mouth is a little bit more pronounced here. All right, back to the hair. So I need gray. So light gray is going to cover the ear. There we go, like that. And it's thick underneath here, like so. There's more white right there. Light gray. Again, thanks to my guidelines, my quick sketch, I know where to pin the hair. So here there's less forehead, more hair. More gray. Like so. It's darker there. So again, it's about playing with the values, light, medium, dark, to give dimension to hair. more on this side. Against the cheek here. All right, let me clean my brush. Now there's too much gray. I want more white. It stands out from the background. So although I'm not done, I wanted to show you quickly how I paint the hair so it looks more finished. I want to go back to the face to show a little bit more what's left to be done or adjusted. And also now I think it's time to paint the t-shirt. So Stella, forgive me. I'm not sure I have the right green. We might need a little bit of cerulean as well. See if I can get this flashy green. Every time there's a challenge, so, oh, might be just what I need. All right, let's see. You see my green here? So it's phthalo green from Old Holland. That's the brand, in case you never heard of it. It's not bad. It's not bad. I think it needs more white. Oh, that's better here. I want to try a little bit of cerulean. Oh yes, that's good. Yeah, so the cerulean kind of kills the bright green. So there's a little bit of shading on the, it brings a different shade for the green. All right, well, it's a good thing I had this green. Yes, there's more white, not just for the color, but just need more paint to cover the underlayer. No more noise outside. Hoo-hoo. All right, let's finish the color here. So it's done. I don't have to worry about that. Let me take another picture. So I'm not sure. Maybe I'll paint the same background. Fuzzy, of course. I'll leave it like that. I'm not sure yet. So I just want to outline there. Just darken the green with a mix of, with a little bit of burnt umber. Shadow. All right, now I'm stepping back to double check everything. So I'm happy with what I did. I hope you've been following. You didn't get lost. There's not much left to do. I'm going to go back to the face. I'll probably paint the background later on. I'm not sure about, even if I paint a fuzzy meadow and a sky, we'll see. All right, so let's refine. The likeness, the expression, the shapes. This could be better. So let's adjust that. All right. All right. I need to increase here. A bit more. Oops. Yeah, it needs to be brighter. So even if this, as you can see, even if it's a loose style, there's still a lot of things to adjust. I'm not quite happy with the eye though. Seems bigger. And much darker on the other side. So I think once I have that right, it's going to be much better. All right, so these are part of the teeny tiny adjustments before you call it done. So you have everything to look at, many things to look at the same time. That's why you don't want to go for details and accuracy from the beginning. Let's always talk about how it's compared with writing a book. You're going to write 500 pages at once, and then you'll have to go back no matter what to page 1, chapter 1. And that's my approach here. I'm going back and make edits on chapter 1. Like I said, even if it's loose. Loose doesn't mean that it's, at least for me, it doesn't mean that it's a very abstractish. It's just not painting all the small details. That's what it means to me. But it's about not controlling your strokes so much. Like the edges are, all the edges are softened. There's no strong line. I think there could be more here. More reddish. Like that. All right. So that's what I like doing is painting, and as I do that, I figured I might as well tape what I do and share with you. Almost like, and I think out loud, so I'm like an open book, and I get to listen to what's going on in my head. So I want to thank you for, again, for keeping me company, and then even if it's not a class, I hope you learned something. Again, leave a comment below if you have any questions. Okay, so I think here it could be a little bit lower, actually. Again, I'm back to page 1 or page 3. Double checking if I didn't miss anything. Yes, I think it's much better here. Oops, way too much. It's an easy fix. Small red here. Oh, pink. That's better. I'm going to make this a little bit darker though. The shadow. Not so much the outline of the jaw and the chin, but the shadow on the neck. So again, be careful with dark colors, right? What you think looks right at this second might be so dark, much darker tomorrow. Even after years of experience, I'm surprised sometimes how it's much darker. And then it depends on the brand. So if you started with one brand for one color, don't switch. The same name from a different brand could be slightly darker or just different. Let's soften that. See, that's when I'm saying that. When you soften the edges, it just looks more realistic. There's no strong line. All right, so I'm stepping back again. I think I'm almost done, except the background. Maybe I'll leave the background like that. I don't know yet. So to see the final product, finished painting, in a couple of days, you'll see it on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Mali, and you'll see the finished painting. You can also go to my website. I will write down below the address, and you'll see all my portraits for the past 6 months. Well, I think that's good enough for today. It's a, you know, 90 minutes, 2 hours video demo. It depends on the difficulties. I've shown you the process. I skipped certain steps. Usually I would have spent more time on the face to get better likeness, but I wanted to show you my color palette. Okay, I work with glazing, adjusting the drawing, the color variations and dimension. And I want to show you how to paint the hair and the shirt, so you have an idea of the process. Now I'm gonna spend a little bit more, maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes, 45 minutes to finish it. And then I will post the finished painting on my website and on my Facebook page. But I think I'm happy after, what, it's been 1 hour, 40 minutes. I'm happy with what I did. So let me switch. I hope you learned something. Again, leave a comment down below if you have any questions. So let's switch to the webcam. Here. Let's move this here. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. And I'll catch you next time.